I know I haven't been posting many videos within the last, well, over a week, maybe closer to a half a month, possibly more. The reason is, I spilled coffee on my laptop, and while it does work, for the most part, the keyboard, unfortunately, crapped out on me, so I had to buy a keyboard, cheap one from Walmart, USB. Otherwise, I'd have to use the on-screen keyboard and type with the mouse, so I haven't been doing videos for that reason, because I don't feel like typing out a title on, well, a on-screen keyboard where I have to use a mouse. Anyways, that's a bit of a moot point in regards to videos I do on my phone, but the truth is, lately I haven't really had any valid reason to do a video on my phone, but now I do. I am going to do a let's try of a wine. It's called Barefoot Merlot. It's made in California. Apparently it won a gold medal, but to me that's, all to be honest, irrelevant. For one, considering the price of this wine, it's a, let me put it to you this way. This, as I think I explained, in Ontario, pretty much all alcohol, even the cheap alcohol, tends to be expensive. And this, while not on the cheap end, it was on the higher side of a cheap bottle of wine, or on the lower side of a medium priced bottle of wine. It was, I think, $13, give or take $1. Like, I think $13.95. It was under 15, but it wasn't around the $10 range anyways. It's a Merlot, 13.5% alcohol by volume. And despite the fact it won a gold medal for 2014 Tasters Guild International Wine Judging, whoop-de-doo, it does not have the year it was bottled on it, so let me put it to you this way. The wine I bought, which was cheaper than this, had the year it was bottled, and this doesn't. So something tells me they don't intend this to be aged in a cellar. Now, what does it say on the back? A perfect combination of blueberry, boysenberry, and plum flavors. Raised right, it's well-rounded and ready to bring home. And despite this being a California wine, maybe because they intended for this particular bottle to be imported to Canada, instead of the other language being Spanish, it's French. So yeah, it might be because they knew that was going to be imported to Canada. Gonna confess, it's the aroma is not as nice as the PV Island wine from what I remember. Truth I'm gonna try and see if I can sniff this once the wine goes to my nose. The truth is, I'm just getting a kind of generic wine aroma. It says plum, it says boysenberry, it says blueberry. I'm not picking up plum, I'm not picking up blueberry. I've never had boysenberry on its own, so I'm not sure specifically what to try and detect in regards to that. But I'm not picking up really any distinctive scents. I'm just getting a generic wine. The flavor, however, is an improvement. And the flavor is better than the Peely Island wine, but the aroma isn't. I am picking up kind of blueberry, but the reason I think I'm detecting this flavor as blueberry is more because it mentions blueberry. If it didn't mention blueberry, I'd have a hard time thinking it blueberry. But I find let's be honest, unless you're a heavy food, wine connoisseur or snob, pretty much if you haven't trained your palate, I think most people will have a hard time not necessarily picking up, but knowing what the flavor or aroma is supposed to be. Especially in regards to aroma, because let's be honest, in Canadian and I think North American culture in general, we're more visual than we are anything else. So, if you smell something, we really have no idea what that smell is. If we taste something, we have a hard time knowing what that flavor is unless we, we can visually see the food we're eating. If it's something like wine, and you pick up, say, a specific cherry or plum, blueberry, or whatever flavor, most people, and I admit myself included, will have a hard time picking out what that flavor is. But this, it does have a bluesberry, yeah. It's the blues, BB King. I have a hard time trying to figure out what that flavor is, even if it's something I recognize, or in this case, kind of recognize, because it's not I think blueberries, I'm used to eating blueberries on their own. This doesn't taste like blueberries on their own, but it is blueberry. I'm not getting any plum flavor, but I'm getting a plum mouthfeel, if that makes any sense. I don't taste it, I feel it. But I don't know how to describe that better than the crude description that I feel plum, not taste it. When I smoke pipe tobacco, sometimes I'll get a feel of a specific tobacco, usually Perique, but I won't taste the Perique. I'll feel it. Like again, Perique, I usually feel on the tip of my nose to leave a tingle. Excuse me. But if it's very light in Perique, I'll just get that feel or that sensation in my mouth and not the flavor. Because when I taste Perique, I usually, depending on the tobacco, there'll be a spiciness, kind of like a pepperiness to it. There'll be a raw fruit, dark fruit flavor along with the pepperiness to it, but sometimes I won't get the spice or the flavor of spice, but I'll get the burning sensation is wrong, but I'll get the spicy sensation on my tongue without really the flavor. And I'll get the not quite aftertaste, but after feel of say raisins or dates or figs, but not necessarily have the flavor of those. And with this, I'm getting a sensation of plum, but not so much the flavor. And as far as boysenberry goes, again, because I really only had boysenberry in drinks, specifically wine, I have no past reference to go back to and go, yeah, that's definitely boysenberry, because I've never had, for lack of a better term, raw boysenberry, or boysenberry as a food. I've only had it in something I drink. I've never had it in even a baked or cooked dessert. So, maybe I'd like to, just simply for a reference, and also I like trying new things. There is a, somewhat in the faint background, a kind of fruit flavor, which is probably boysenberry, but I'm hesitant to say it. Also, as I said, I've never been much of a wine drinker until shortly, well, not shortly, shortly after I moved to Guelph, which was not that long ago, and I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to wine, because I'm pretty much new when it comes to wine. And yeah, I enjoy it, but I prefer beer and I prefer spirits. This is, I guess it's time for me to wrap this up. I've been rambling for close to 15 minutes now. So I guess it's time for me to give a rating. And I don't know what to rate this, because the flavor is better than the aroma. But, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I will. I'm not even certain of how much I enjoy this. Let me put it to you this way: I will not be picking up. I will not be picking it up again. At least I don't intend to pick it up again. Whereas the other, the Peely Island, I may. And it's not even so much the fact that this is more expensive, it's just the fact that this is not as enjoyable as the other wine I've had, which I do have a video up of. But anyways, let's scrap the reference to the Peely Island wine and excuse me, try to judge this on its own merits. Rating, I'm 60. And the truth is, this is 60, well, an overall poor rating. It's, well, I shouldn't say so. 50 to me is average, not a fail. Rating of 50 is average to me. This is above average, but not by much. And 60 to me actually seems kind of high from high overall. But it's not a 50, it's not average, it's above the flat line of average. It's better than a 55. And it's definitely not above a 60. And it's definitely not a 65. It's 58 seems a little too low. 59 seems lower than what it deserves to be. But 60 doesn't seem as good. But again, I'm trying to judge it on its own merits. I don't know much about wine because I haven't experienced it that much. And also with the California wine, I haven't had that. I've seen this is only the second California wine I've had, and the first I've ever done on this channel. And I do remember the other time I had California wine, I had this same. I didn't review it, but I remember having the same predicament of what do I think of it. Because it's I don't dislike it, but I don't like it either. And like personal preferences aside, it's a 60, and even with personal preferences, I'd probably rate it a 60, so, rated a 60 while second guessing my decision. With the personal preferences. But alas, it's, well, let me put it to you this way. As I've stated, I think before, it's always good to try something once, even if it's, something you regret. I don't regret buying this, but I won't be buying it again. And that alone is probably the reason why I'm giving it a 60, because I don't regret buying it. Though I do think there are better, cheaper options available. Also, when I bought this, I didn't realize it was California. I thought it was Ontario. Because I think it was in the, not necessarily the Ontario section, but it was in the aisle where Ontario wines are. And I guess I picked up the California section thinking it was Ontario. Alas, I've been rambling for way too long, and I will end this video now. Take care, everybody, thanks for watching, and bye.